Hello, everyone. Good morning. I hope all is well. Thank you so much for being here. I truly, deeply appreciate every single one of you. As you can see today, I already have the cards out on the table. Before, when I was setting up, I was just like shuffling this deck, and I was actually thinking about what deck to use, but I was just shuffling it. And all of a sudden, a whole bunch of cards just came out in one big chunk. And that one big chunk of cards were these cards. And I just felt called to look at the cards that were presented, even though I felt like, oh, well, I'll just put them back and, actually pick a deck specifically for this reading and go through with that. But when I was laying them out, they ended up laying out perfectly like this. And I felt called to consider sharing this message with you guys. I I kind of just asked in my head, I was like, should I share this message or should I just put them all back and actually draw for a specific message? But in my head I felt like yes, like I should share it. I even busted out this coin that I have that's a yes and no coin. And in short, yes came out a lot. And so I'm going to share this message with you guys. Today will probably be a shorter reading than my usual nearly 2-hour readings. But as always, disclaimers are in the description box below, as well as some information how to contact me or get to know me if you're interested. I have my Instagram also linked down below. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope this message resonates with you. I hope it brings you clarity and peace and understanding in your life. And so, since we already have the cards out in the open, I'll just talk about the things that I immediately see or saw when I was, putting the cards down. So let's get right into it. Here with the 8 of Cups, what I'm feeling is this is a need to walk away from a situation, a partnership. It could have been romantic. It could have been, a work partnership. It could have been in any kind of partnership. But I'm seeing a disappointment in this, where this did not work out. And so what this is telling me is it's time to walk away from this situation. And what I'm seeing is advice here is to walk away from this situation and really put your time, your energy, your focus into creating and manifesting the things in your life that you desire. What I'm also seeing here is like, yes, it's going to take hard work, but just know that you are ready to build upon these skills, and that this is something that's meant for you to build upon and to work on and to focus on in your life at this current time. I'm really seeing a lot of energy of releasing disappointments, people, places, things that have disappointed you or that don't respect you, or, that if they made a decision to walk away, let them walk away. Don't chase, is what I'm getting here. Now, what I'm seeing with the Four of Wands in reverse is like, yes, this is something that did not work out. I'm seeing this is something that had a lot of potential to create a lot of stability and abundance in your life, or to help with bringing that to you. But this didn't work out. And so it's time to walk away, to build upon your foundation, because you're not able to have this foundation with whoever, whatever this is. Because this, the Four of Wands, is also a card about stability and about foundations. But right above it, we have this card, the Eight of Pentacles, which is about working on your craft, about building upon your skills, about building upon your own stability. This is you working towards your own stability. So what I'm seeing here is not to focus on the lack of stability around you, with people around you that have disappointed you, or whatever the case is. Maybe they had to walk away for a very valid reason, but I'm seeing that regardless of the reason, like, it is still something that you put a lot of time and energy into building some form of stability and foundation with this person, or whatever this scenario is. But not to give up, and to remember to continue to build upon your own skills and to work on yourself and to focus on that. With the Queen of Wands here, what I'm really feeling is like this is you stepping into your own power. This is time for you to step into your own power, to realize your own greatness, to follow the things that bring you happiness and passion, that fuel your heart, and to follow your intuition on the inner guidance that you are being given about this situation. Because I do feel like there is your intuition, I feel like, has been perhaps telling you to walk away from something that's not working. But with this here, I'm feeling the sense of holding on to whatever this is. So what I'm seeing is pretty much this is the energy that you are either in or need to be in right now, if this is the situation that you have been. So I'm seeing this as like, this is the negative energy to this that you're trying to create. And so you have to release this and move away from this. And in order to do that, you focus on this. And that is how you move away from this. Does that make sense? Here, I'm really feeling again like that desire to hold on, even though your intuition's telling you to walk away. You have the world in your hands, and it is up to you where you want to go. I'm sorry for the glare. You have the world in your hands, and it's up to you where you want to go. Here, he has 2 wands. Here, she has 1 wand. And what I'm seeing here is, this is a call for you to focus on yourself. Focus on thyself first right now. And I mean, we should always have that mind frame, and it's not a selfish thing. It's important to really put ourselves first, to make sure that we are giving ourselves the time and saving up our energy for the things that we need to create in our life in order for us to really be in our own power. So this is, to me, saying, again, it is important to go within. And I know we don't have the Hermit card, and we don't have the Hanged Man. We don't have the Four of Swords out here. But I'm really getting the sense of going within and relying and focusing on yourself right now. You see, the 2 comes after 1, and I know this is not an ace, but she's holding 1 wand. Two comes after one, but the two is in reverse. And I really am seeing this as a call to work on yourself again. And then I saw 1010. With with these cards here, what I'm seeing is it's important for you to, at this time, not be going around telling everyone and everything your business about what's going on in your life. That does not mean to not communicate with the people that you know, love, and trust. I just see this as it's time to be a little bit more aware of the information that you're sharing with people, because not everyone deserves to know all of that information. What I'm also getting here is due to lack of communication, and I feel like this is something that really caused this. A lack of communication is probably something that really made the lovers turn in reverse. With the Five of Cups, it's important to remember not to focus on the things that no longer resonate with us. It's important to move away from scenarios or situations where we feel left out in the cold, or we feel like a lack of emotional fulfillment, where we feel kind of alone because of this situation that did not follow through in the way that you had hoped. And with the Temperance card, what I'm seeing here is a need to really focus on healing and being patient with yourself and in your journey, because here we do have that she's pouring the water. We do have elements of water which symbolize the emotions. Now with the energy of fire that is in this card, or the energy of the sun, we have the sun literally in the background. We have a ray of light halo around her, and we have here on her third eye, that is the symbol for the sun. So I'm feeling there is a need to be aware of your emotions. There's a need to temper your emotions, a need for healing, because water is water, something that is a meaning of water, is healing. An aspect of water. I'm sorry, that's what I was trying to say. An aspect of water is healing. And it's time for you to release all of these burdens here that I'm seeing here. Yeah, like release the burdens. It's time to walk away from the things that burden you. If it has not worked out and you cannot foresee a way to make it work out, it's important right now to just let it go. This is the 10 of Wands. At this point, you have the choice. Are you going to keep lugging around the 10 of Wands, or are you going to finally just let him go? Because either you will recycle back to the Ace if you let him go. You have the choice to go back to the Ace. And with the Ace, with the one focusing in on self, the Ace of Wands is making me think of, which is continuing this thought of the Queen of Wands at the moment. It's a call for us to release the burdens, and to start something fresh for ourselves, to start something new. The creative projects, the things, communicate with the people that we want to build a friendship with, that we want to be there for. It's time to move away from disappointments in your life and to focus on the things that bring you happiness, that bring you a strong sense of self, like that make you feel empowered, in other words, that I'm trying to say. I noticed the 88 here, and with the two A's is making me think of cycles. So this is something to be very aware not to turn into a cycle in a negative way. So you can either turn this into a positive cycle or you can turn this into a negative cycle. And what I mean by that is, like, you can move away from this and focus in on yourself and your abundance and your stability and your the things that you want to create and manifest in your own life. Or, you know, the negative route, being burdened, staying burdened, focusing on what did not work, you know, and really not being able to make a decision to move forward in your life because of this very strong, burdening energy. With the Emperor, I'm seeing that this could be a masculine energy where the disappointment lies. And that does not mean that it has to be physically a man. It just means masculine energy is not necessarily a man. We all have feminine and masculine energy within us all. I'm seeing like this is something that you perhaps had someone on such a high pedestal. And when they disappointed you, you realized who they truly were. And you realized, like, why I should not put anyone on a pedestal. Not myself, not you, not him, not her, not an ex, not you know, whatever the case is. We are all equal. And sometimes, like, the people who we really have our eye on or something, we do tend to have to view certain aspects of them with rose-colored glasses. And what I'm seeing here is it's okay to release this energy, and it is, you know, necessary if you want to have this you know, self-sufficiency and building upon yourself, and maybe you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to, you know, share your creativity, your art, pictures, whatever it is that it is that you want to create. Don't allow a situation to hold you back. Because here with the Three of Cups, we see that this was not a celebratory situation. I'm not sure if there was cheating involved. That message might resonate with only like a few people. But there definitely was a disappointment. And I really do keep seeing this as something that you really, really wanted very strongly, but that's time to release it because it did not work out. And sometimes things, you know, I believe that things happen for a reason, no matter what it is in our life. There's a reason for it. I don't believe in coincidence at all. With this here, the Three of Cups and the Three of Cups, I'm seeing again, there's this this energy is repeated here, is what I'm feeling. There's this focus on what did not work. There's this focus on disappointment, this focus on disloyalty, this focus on, well, he didn't do it, or she didn't do it, or they did this or that, or whatever. I'm seeing whatever it is that burdens you, if that's how it makes you feel, and you thinking about that person or that situation just brings you the negativity out in you, it is time to release it, is what I'm seeing. It's time to follow your intuition, because I feel like your intuition has told you this already. Your intuition has been leading you here. Your intuition led you here for a reason. I feel like this is something that you know within yourself that you may not want to face because you may have someone on a pedestal, or may have had someone on a pedestal in the past. Again, this could be a love situation. This could be a career situation. It does not have to be a love situation, even though we have the Lover's card. To me, that's just saying a commitment with someone, a decision to be made. And again, the commitment does not have to be love. It could be like a business partner, is what I'm seeing here. Regardless of which card you look at, the Three of Cups in reverse or the Five of Cups, you get the same energy. I'm getting the same energy here. We have the Three of Cups here, and this person is focused on the Three of Cups, and they're crying over the spilt milk, so to speak. And they're not noticing the possibilities that are right behind them, because they're so transfixed on those three spilled cups. Now, if you look over here, yes, it's in reverse. If these people were literally, upside down, whatever drink they have, which I see is a wine, right? We have grapes here. It's kind of like a red, burgundy, purple kind of color. No matter what it is that's spilt, whether it was water, wine, soda, mud, tea, coffee, whatever the fuck it was that spilt, it's spilt. What are you gonna do? Drink it from the floor? No. You let it stay there. If it's in your house, you clean it up. I don't know why that just came out in my head. What I feel is to release whatever it is that you feel from this, which I feel is very burdening on you. And I feel like it is something that possibly does keep you up at night. I do see that for sure. Even though there's not like the Nine of Swords, for example. If you want this kind of energy around you, be cautiously aware of the kind of energy of people around you. If you're always around negative, and I'm saying, okay, this kind of energy, the Three of Cups, upright, non-reverse, of course. We need to be cautiously aware of the people that we hang around with, the energy that we're always around, and certain circumstances we cannot choose. Like, for example, we cannot choose who our coworkers are. You have to learn to work with them because that is your job. Your job is to get over whatever the fuck it is in order to work together to just get the job done and then go your separate ways. I saw 2442. Going your separate ways. Making me think back to this energy here. release the negativity, release the toxicity, release the burdens. People who always make you feel like the Three of Cups in reverse, those are not people who you should focus all of your time and energy on. That does not mean that you cannot be their friend. That does not mean that you cannot be there for them. It does not mean you cannot communicate with them or that you cannot show that you care. What I'm seeing though is that you have to learn to preserve, or how can I say, to prioritize your energy. If energy is a currency, what are you going to spend your energy on? Because really, there's nothing more precious than the time that we have here, right? And they say time is money. And that made me lose my train of thought. Time is money. Time is money. Yeah, if you're so focused on the negativity of the situation that did not work out, you're gonna be literally spending all of your energy on something that is just going to bring more of that energy to you, because you're gonna be stuck in that energy. We need to learn to prioritize our energy above all else, right? If our energy was a currency, I think we all would at least be a little bit more consciously aware of how we spend our energy. Do you choose to stay stuck in this situation that is already obviously not working? Move away from, oh shit, move away from the burdens and the pain. And look, I mentioned the Ace of Wands earlier, and we have the Magician, or that, and the Star, the Six, okay, and the Sun. All right. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. I'll get to those right now. Be aware of the way that you spend your time and your energy, and what you should be focusing on is not on the past, the shit that has made you feel so burdened and disappointed. It's time to focus on you, on your skills, on what you know, on learning more, on practicing what it is that you desire to create in your life, and stepping into your own power, like the Queen of Wands right now. What I'm also seeing here with both of these cards, the Ace of Swords as well as the Eight of Wands, some of the meanings, or one of the biggest meanings that both of these cards share, is communication. And both of these cards are in reverse. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse and the Ace of Swords in reverse. So what I'm seeing here, again, is to be aware of who you're communicating with and what you're communicating to them. But I'm also seeing that this is a part of the disappointment, was a lack of communication between this person, again, whether they were a love interest or they were a business partner. Whatever the case is, I'm seeing that there was a lack of clarity, a lack of communication, and that really has affected whatever this scenario was. But there is a need to be tempered and to focus, again, your time and energy on what it is that you do want for yourself. Oh, oh, wow. These cards really are. I feel like there's major messages today. So again, mentioning back to the Ace of Wands that I mentioned earlier, that feeling that I was getting from the Queen of Wands as well as the Two of Wands. Remember how I said, like, it's time to focus on yourself, and it's okay to go from the two to a one. I'm not seeing that as a bad thing. Sometimes we have to backtrack because we realize that, like, what we're doing isn't working. So sometimes we do need to backtrack in order to figure out what went wrong, in order to figure out how we can progress, how we can proceed with better outcomes, better possible outcomes, more positive outcomes. A need to release the burdens, again, is what I'm seeing. To move away. I'm seeing because you are so burdened, it's difficult for you to move away from the situation, which makes sense. The more time, energy, commitment, loyalty that you give to something or someone, the harder it is going to be for you to release it. But that does not mean that it is impossible, obviously. Right? I'm sure that we have all been through experiences where we've been in a relationship, for example, that we're like, oh my God, I'll never get over this. And then we do. It takes time. But we eventually do, because we have other shit going on in our life, and we decide for ourselves, like, I'm not going to stay around in this energy anymore. I'm done. I'm walking away. Move away from the people, places, and things in your life that bring you, that really bring you down. If you think about someone, like, let's say there's someone on your mind that you're thinking about when I'm talking about all of this. That first person or those people who you're thinking about, that's your intuition telling you, hey, maybe there's something about that person or those people that you need to reevaluate. Because if that's the first person that comes to your mind when we're talking about this kind of energy, then that goes to show that there's an energy with it, with the scenario that happened with them, that is really, it really is holding you back. If you think about a person and the majority of your thoughts go to negative places, they are not someone who you should be focusing your time and energy on. And again, that doesn't mean you have to completely cut someone out of your life. I don't believe in doing that, for the most part. I think something would have to be very serious, legal, or destructive in a very toxic, controlling, narcissistic kind of way to just completely cut someone off. But in other ways, I don't believe in cutting someone off just because our feelings were hurt, or just because they're an ex, or just because, we didn't have the outcome that we wanted. But you do what feels right for you, because you are not me, I'm not you. We are all one, but we are all very different, and we all do things differently. But what I would suggest, based on the cards that I see, and also based on, what I believe, is to release it, not out of anger. We do have the Temperance card. Not out of anger, not out of spite, not out of hate, not out of fear, not out of any of that. But to release it because it's time for you to focus on what does make you happy. And I feel like when you think about this energy, when you think about this person or whatever scenario in your life, I'm sorry if you hear a little kiki in the background. Sorry, I'm being distracted. It's so cute. Anyway, yeah, this burdening situation or scenario is really keeping you from stepping into your passions and stepping into your own power. And I was talking about stepping into your own power here with the Queen of Wands, that I was getting this feeling from that card. And look what sits right above it is the Magician. So yes, I do strongly feel like this is about you having the choice, making the decision, right? Because we do have the Lovers, and that is a decision card. Um, it's up to you, and you should, and you do deserve to step into your own power. And with the figure 8, it's bringing back to my mind the 88. Be aware of the cycles in your head. Talking about cycles, we'll get to it. Follow your passions, follow the things that make you happy, and follow the things that fuel your heart, the things that help you express yourself in your most truest, authentic version. Because you are the Magician, you do deserve happiness, you do deserve to step into your own power, but the wheels are turning if you start to go into this energy. You see how the wheel is upright right underneath the Magician that is also upright. So what I'm seeing here is the wheel will turn for you in a favorable way, for you once you step into your own power, and once you do everything that you can to stay in that energy of, like, that you your decisions and your choices in life really do determine, who you are, what you do, and all of this kind of thing. It's up to you to choose to be the Magician, to turn the wheels so that these cards can be upright. Because both are really amazing cards, and side by side, you see the sun in the background, as well as this is the Sun card. But there's a lot of solar energy, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of creative energy. It's up to you to manifest it in a constructive way, to manifest your dreams and your desires, and to work on the skills necessary for you to continue to pursue what this is. The wheels will turn for you in a favorable way once you let go of these burdens, of this, whatever this is that did not work out for you. And here it's important to remain hopeful. Even if something does not work with someone, with the Three of Pentacles, even if something does not work with someone, it's important to remain hopeful. And again, I do see these cards really standing out here. They have a very similar energy that I'm feeling right now. The Star card, as well as Temperance. There's the water, the elements of water, of pouring out the water. There's the element of light, right? Because stars produce light. Stars illuminate the night sky. And there's a quote: there has to be some amount of darkness in order for you to see the stars. Is what I'm seeing. So it's important to appreciate and understand that whatever this is, Don't view it as like, well, fuck that person and like whatever, they don't love me, I don't love them, like fuck it, whatever, I'm done. Again, don't be spiteful, don't be angry, don't be aggressive about it. Because that's not going to help you see the stars. That's literally going to blind you, because whether you're angry or you're crying about it, you're so transfixed on it. Let's say, imagine you're not sad about it and you're just so fucking pissed off because it didn't work out. Then imagine the same thing but a pissed off fucking person. It's the same thing. Regardless, it is a stagnant energy, because this person has the ability to turn around and to notice these other two cups, but they are stagnant in this energy because they are so transfixed. So again, be aware of what you're spending your energy on. Thoughts are energy, and we have so many thoughts. Was it like thousands upon thousands of thoughts, like in even just a short amount of time? By the end of the day, we've had at least thousands of thoughts, whether we were actively thinking about them with our conscious mind or not. You know, we do use more of our brain than like our conscious side of it. Does that make sense? So the majority of our brain is not our consciousness, it is our subconscious. That does not mean that it is not working. It just means that it is harder to tap into because it is our subconscious. It's easier to evaluate the thoughts that are really strong and upfront and prevalent in our mind, but it is harder to silence that part of our mind in order for us to go deeper into our subconscious, into the subconscious level of our thoughts. So I do see a need for reprogramming your thoughts, your patterns. Regardless of this thing that did not work out, things happen for a reason, and I think it's important for us to view our lives, our circumstances with that thought. That things happen for a reason. That does not mean it is a good thing that happened to us or to someone else, or that does not mean that it is justified. It does not mean that it's okay. But it does mean that whatever that is meant to be a part of your life, to fuel you, to make you move away from things like that, to help you understand how to avoid certain people and circumstances that will lead you to the same outcomes. But if you're stuck in this Five of Cups energy, I'm sorry, I turned it upside down. If you're stuck in this Five of Cups energy, you're not going to see it. You won't see an offer that comes your way because, again, like, too transfixed on something that is not, that's already dead. Have hope for yourself. What I'm seeing is it's okay to release the desire for a specific outcome. And it is important to replace that desired outcome with a peaceful understanding of what is meant to be will be. As long as I am in my own power, the wheels will turn in my favor. As long as I am doing what I can to become the greatest version of myself, you know, no greed, not like in a greedy way, but in a peaceful way, in a way of just being empowered and not being like up in your head about it, like airheaded, you know what I mean? Not cocky about it. I saw 4444. Not to be cocky about it, because that is a negative energy that I feel like will turn the wheel in a negative way. So it's important to be, what's the word? Humble. Be humble about your power, because each and every one of us has power, deep, amazing powers that we don't even comprehend to our fullest capacity. But if we're in that energy of like, oh well, I'm badass and I'm this and I'm that and I'm all them chips, all of that in a bag of chips or whatever, however it's said, um, like that's going to be an energy that really does turn the wheel in a negative way. So the magician card can have, every card I think has its positives and negatives. Every single card, right? Even this the sun card, which is known as the happiest card in the whole deck, look, it's in reverse. So it's not in a positive situation, because we're seeing that it is a blockage here. So again, be aware of your thoughts, be aware of your reasonings for doing things, be aware of your intentions. Make sure that your intentions are pure and aligned with who you really are and what you really want out of your own life. Have the hope and know that even in your darkest hours, in the dark is when you see the light. In the dark is when you can really appreciate the light. And it's important to be tempered, to be patient, and to be kind with yourself. Now, there were these cards here. Let me see. This is a lot of tarot today. I guess tarot wants to really speak up today. Okay. I kind of want to see what's on top of the deck. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Something told me to look at the top part of the deck, because this is the bottom facing up. And look what I fucking look. I'll get to this in a moment. I'm sorry, it was like out of frame. Oh, look, and I'm showing you guys like this. I'm sorry. I'll get to this shit in a little bit. But let's continue. There's a desire for some kind of reunion, a desire for reciprocity, because 6 is a number of love. It is a number of balance. So there's a desire for a balanced outcome, a desire for some kind of reunion, but that desire, I feel like, really needs to be put to rest. And not in a way of like, well, it's never gonna fucking happen, then whatever. But in a way of just letting go of the desired outcome. And so this is, I feel like the strongest message here is release control. Release control is, set of cards after set of cards after set of cards. I'm getting that feeling of a need to release the desired outcome, like I said multiple times earlier. And this is the death card, right? We have the death card under that. So again, that really does make me feel like it's a need to release that. with the Three of Swords, I see that with the Three of Swords and the Five, oh my god, with all of these, it really is. Oh my, I just noticed out of all of these cards right now, the only one that is upright is the Three of Swords. So what that's telling me, because I do read cards in reverse, I do read reversals, but sometimes I don't necessarily read reversals in a way of like, oh, it's uh, the flipped aspect of it or the negative aspect of the card or whatever. You know, I don't always see it as the opposite energy of that card when it's in reverse. Sometimes it is a focus on like, hey, this is really something to focus on, and that is exactly what I was gonna say with these. But again, I'll get to that later. So for me, for all of these other cards around it to be in reverse and for the only card upright to be the Three of Swords upright, that is really, to me, not necessarily saying that these cards are in the opposite, you know, meaning the opposite of what the card is. I'm seeing that as there is this huge focus right here. All of the attention is on this card. All of it. Feeling left out in the cold, being lied to, being cheated, being strung around. Right? Deception. Fighting. Always fighting with people because of the deception. Because the way that they make us feel like shit. Right? Because at the end of the night, we are the ones crying in our bed. Feeling like fucking shit. Because of something that did not work out. The seeds that we have planted, that we had all intention to grow and to prosper with love and, you know, abundance. But it's blocked. That's what I'm feeling from this, you know, set of cards. It really, the main focal point here is the Three of Swords, which says a lot about your situation, that whatever this is has really, really, really cut you fucking deep, to say the least. There is a need to revisit that and to heal it with temperance. There really, really, really is. Because this is very serious, is what I'm feeling. This is the energy of that stagnation. This is the energy of letting that situation, that circumstance, that person, whatever, again, whether it was a love interest or whether it was like a business partner, there's a need to really let that go and to heal it. When we let things go in our lives, that does not necessarily mean that it is done. You know what I mean? The first example that came to my mind is like when we are decluttering physical objects and mental like thoughts in our mind, our memories. When we are choosing to let go of things in our life, that's great. That's the first step, is to make that choice. The next step is to actually go through it, to clean out this shit. So I love watching some certain decluttering videos, particularly wardrobe declutters and like bedroom declutters. So it really is making me think of the energy. Just because you put all of your stuff in bags and boxes and piles of shit to get rid of, to get out of your house, you still have to do something with it, because it's still fucking clutter in your house, right? Just because you package it away in a specific place for you to get rid of it or for you to do something with it later does not mean it's out of your life. That's just the first few steps of the process. The next step of the process, once you have decluttered, once you already have your pile of shit that you don't want anymore, for example, once you have all of that, now you have to decide, okay, am I going to sell some of my shit? Am I going to donate it to a shelter, to a place like Goodwill? Am I going to give it away to my friends and my family? And you make different piles of what you want to do. So you have everything that you don't want, everything that you're ready to let go of in your life, is what I should say. Everything that you're ready to let go of in your life, you have it all laid out in front of you in piles. It is up to you to decide, okay, what to do with it next. Okay, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to give it away. I'm going to donate it. And I feel like this is the stage where you're at. You know, deep down inside, because of the Black Cat and the Queen of Wands is making me really think of the intuition. You know the stuff that you need to get rid of in your life. People, places, and things. Physical objects can also be a big part of our mental health being drained, because, if we lived in a cluttered home, the quote goes, the state of your bed is the state of your head. It really is true. Ask anyone who goes through a decluttering process, ask them, how do you feel? I don't think a single damn one is going to be like, oh, I want all of my stuff back. No. It's like, once you know the shit that you get rid of, it's such a fucking release to finally get it the fuck out of your house. It's such a release. It's such a relief. And that is how we heal. It makes me think of the KonMari method of decluttering, where it's like you hold on to whatever it is that you don't want and you thank it, and then you get rid of it. That's what I'm seeing here. Thank everything and everyone and all the shitty bullshit that you've been through. Be grateful for it, because it has led you here. And you know what this is here? It's an opportunity. It is a new beginning, because after every end is a new beginning. And again, this is the death card. The death card is transformation. You cannot have life without death. You cannot have new beginnings if you're stuck in your old ways. That's not how it works. And if you try to bring your old ways into a new circumstance, a new business partner, a new love relationship, it's going to end the same way. I almost nearly guarantee that it will end the same way if you're still, having the same kind of burdens. And that's the thing, I myself included in what I'm about to say. Many people, again, it's like when you're decluttering physical objects, it's easy to see and you have to get rid of it because it's literally an eyesore or a tripping hazard or whatever the case is. It's taking up space. If you don't want to get rid of it, let it go. But what I'm seeing is, when it comes to thoughts and emotions, it's not that easy, because we don't see the physical object. We don't see the thought as taking up space necessarily, but it really, really does. So it's like, let's say if our mind holds a certain capacity, right? Our conscious mind, I'm not talking about the subconscious mind right now. I'm talking about the conscious mind. If we are holding on to these things, they are literally lessening the amount of energy and the amount of free space of our mind that we have to follow through with these new endeavors, with these new opportunities, is what I'm seeing. I kind of lost my train of thought, but I think you get my point. Just because in our mind we cannot see the physical clutter of our thoughts, our conscious mind does have its capacity. So are you going to focus on all of the shit or release it? And that's easier said than done for anyone. Right? It's always easier said than done. And that's life. That's the way that life is. Because life is not going to be just handed down to us. We are here on earth to learn these lessons ourselves, to share our experiences with other people, to share our knowledge with other people, and to learn from other people, so that way we can continue to have this creative, loving, abundant energy where people support people. Be aware that your thoughts take up space. And it's up to you to focus on those thoughts. So, like, recently, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling kind of bipolar. I'm not bipolar, but I've been feeling that way lately because it's not like a flipping a switch, just like positive to negative, or, opposing kind of emotions. But it's because of my thoughts. When my mind, I saw 34:44 seconds, 8:34 with 44 seconds, but I saw the 444. We need to be aware of what it is that we are building upon. 444. We need to be aware of what it is that we are, again, like I said, building upon. Our foundation. What is the foundation that we're trying to have for ourselves, that we're trying to make for ourselves, right? Thoughts take up space. It takes up mental space. And thoughts are energy. So if we're thinking about negative things, or negative things pop up, which, like I said, I have honestly been feeling kind of like that, hot and cold energy lately. I've been really feeling like that. And it's because certain things come up in my mind, people, places, things, whatever the case is, come up in my mind and put me in a negative loophole. And so lately, especially, I have really been actively, like, getting on my own ass about it. That when I start thinking about whatever it is that makes me feel negative, that I stop, and I'm like, stop. Like, no. For example, what I started doing, and actually, I think just yesterday, this is a way of releasing those thoughts in a gentle way. Not just saying like, stop, fucking change the thought in your mind. No, because that's not the right way to talk to yourself. That's not the right way to look at it, because it comes from a state of fear of it accruing, or it comes from a state of anger. Like, don't be angry about it. Be gentle about it. So, for example, something that I started doing is when I think of a certain something, right? Person, place, or thing, whatever. I'm not going to be specific. When I think of that specific thing, it makes me feel like this. the Three of Swords, the Five of Pentacles upright, the Seven of Swords upright, the Nine of Swords upright. When I think of whatever this is, it does put me in this negative mind state, and it does make me, if I don't stop myself, I spiral down, and that's how things are, because thoughts are energy, and energy is going to gain momentum like a snowball effect, whether positive or negative. So if you're in a negative mind state and you catch yourself going through a cycle, like you're just spiraling down, negative thought after negative thought after negative thought, negative feelings, negative emotions, negative memories, breathe. Stop. Breathe. You know? And let it go with gentleness. So what I do for those certain people, places, things in my life, or whatever the scenario is, I'm choosing to view it like this, right? When I think of that specific scenario, or those scenarios that end up entangling themselves with each other, or I think of the memories, or the people, or the places, or whatever the case is that really put me in a Nine of Swords energy, a Five of Pentacles energy, an energy of the Three of Swords, or the Seven of Swords upright. When I start feeling like that, and I start, having those thoughts, lately what I've been doing is thinking about, for example, I won't give you my exact, but I will give you the closest version that I can think of. When I think of these things that make me feel negative, I am now choosing to practice thinking about it, like, not like, well, stop fucking thinking about that and think about something else, but rather to acknowledge that I have thought about it, right, is the first step. You realize, oh shit, I'm going down a spiral, like, let me catch my breath. And I literally think of something that helps me release it in a gentle way. So for example, if you love birds and birds make you happy, or if a bird can symbolize what it is that you're dealing with, think about you having the bird in your hand, and that is the memories, the thoughts, the situations, the scenarios, the people, places, things in your life that are bringing you stress. Think about that beautiful bird. And it is beautiful. Even the shitty shit that happens in our life is for a reason. Think about all of that as the bird, and literally let it go. Open your hands and think of the bird flying away, and you watch the bird, and it's a peaceful emotion. It is a calm release, like the temperance. That is what I have been doing, and I have noticed a big change already. And I just started doing that, like yesterday? And I already noticed a big change in the way that I perceive these thoughts about this person, place, or thing, or whatever the case is. Because I don't believe in staying in a bitter, negative, angry, resentful energy, and I refuse to let those energies take over me, because I know that I am the magician in my own life. You are the magician in your own life. And it is time for us to realize the things that no longer deserve to take up so much space in our mind. Let it go like a bird. If you love cats, think about all of that shit that happened as a cat. Pet the cat. Hug the cat. And when you let the cat go, imagine the cat walking away. Like a cat do. Like a cat does. Let the cat do as the cat does. Let the cat walk away. If you love dogs, imagine it being a dog. Same scenario. What I have chosen to do this for is, again, to find a way to release these thoughts, these emotions, these scenarios, these memories, to release them in gentleness. Not in a way for me to be angry at myself, like, why the fuck do I keep thinking about this person, place, and thing, and I'm fucking tired of it, and like, just fuck yourself and blah blah blah. No. I mean, if that's the kind of person you are, that's the kind of person you are. That's on you. You take responsibility for that shit. Personally, I believe with all my heart, body, mind, and soul that the most efficient, most positive, most, the best way to do it from a place of a higher vibration, and the highest vibration is love. I saw 111.55. We need to change our perspectives. And as I said that, I just noticed the 5 in reverse. And then I noticed the 2 7s. And immediately right after that, I noticed the third 7. So if 55 is the number that's significant to you, 5 is a number of change. If 777 is a number that has been appearing to you, that's something to be mindful of. 96 or 69 maybe. Release things out of a place of love and temperance and understanding and compassion. That is the only way to let go of something without it coming back to haunt you later. Excuse me. Because when we hold anger and resentment for something, I guarantee you, it will come back and bite you in the ass in the future. If it was a past relationship and you're holding on to the burdens and the pain, the heartache of the past relationship, it will translate to your next relationships. And I'm telling you from experience, and boy, do I have a lot of experience in that. And I think anyone who's been in multiple relationships can attest to that. And it fucking sucks. Especially when you think you've healed enough and you realize there's still more to heal. I mean, naturally, as a way of life, there's always more to heal. There's always more to work on, because there's always going to be something new to heal within ourselves. As our life progresses, there's going to be new people, places, things that come into our life that bring in some kind of negative energy, or has a lesson for us to learn that makes us go into this negative energy in order for us to learn how to transmute it. It's important. So yes, I will say, if you're one of those people who holds grudges and wants to be angry at the world and blame everyone, and yourself included, that is your choice. I saw 114.44. That is your choice, and I guarantee you, I promise you, if that's the kind of person that you are, it will bring nothing but more of this. I promise you. And I'm speaking from experience. And that is why I'm saying it with such confidence that that is exactly what will happen. That does not mean that you cannot work things out when you're with someone. You know, when you meet someone new, that does not mean that you can't open up to them and say, hey, you know, honestly, I'm still healing through certain shit, and, you know, I know I have shit to work on. That's fine. At least you're taking that step to be responsible enough to admit the truth, to be honest about it. That's important. So it does not necessarily mean that you have to be completely clear of all this negative energy in order for you to you know, have a new opportunity. But it does mean the more clearer you are of releasing these energies, the more you come into alignment with what is meant for you. And that's not going to be people, places, and things that really just stress you out and burden you. That's not what it will do. Because people who are empowered within themselves, and people who have done the healing work, and people who move away from this Three of Swords, those are people. Those are the people who will not take shit from nobody. Those are the people that, like, I see the red flags. You're already starting to treat me like shit. I've experienced being treated like shit. I refuse to let you come any closer to me. And cut that shit. So what I'm saying here is, when we actually learn from our experiences, that is when the healing comes. That is when we move on to new situations and circumstances and things that are going on in our life. That is when we move away. I'm going to go on to these three cards. And these cards, these two, I did mention both of these cards at the beginning of the reading. I said, even though the Hermit, the Hanged Man, or even the Four of Swords are not in this reading, I have that strong sense of those energies within this reading. And look, here they are. Here's two of those. So again, if you remember what I said earlier, just because a card is in reverse does not necessarily mean it is the opposite. So with the Six of Wands in between, what I'm seeing here is, this is exactly the scenario that I was talking about. That's saying when a card is in reverse, it's saying, hey, this is really fucking important to pay attention to. Because if you pay attention to going within, you will have this, a victory. The Six of Wands is that victorious card. It is that card that, you know, you see the person who's on the horse and, yeah, they're victorious. And you see all these people in the background. They're like, yeah, you go, do it. Yeah, thank you. Whatever the case is, it is a victory. And I'm seeing the victory, the secret is within you. Because both of these cards are about going within. This card, I feel, is more of like going within in a time where you know, you need to take time. If you need to distance yourself from people, places, things, then take the time to do so in order to go within, in order to open the truth within you. If you need to take time to go within to figure all of this out and to figure out a way where you can release things with love and compassion versus anger and resentment, then take the time to do so. And with the Hermit, what I'm seeing again is to follow your inner guidance, to follow your light, to follow that hope. The Hermit, I'm getting this feeling of strong intuition, because really someone who really goes within, I think, is more likely to follow their intuition. Someone who is more likely to follow their intuition, it is guaranteed that when you follow your intuition, no matter who you are, you will be led to victory. Because our intuition is our highest self telling us, pointing us in the right directions. Our intuition is spirit telling us, guiding us, is what I'm trying to say. Something that I'm feeling here, a difference that I feel is, with this card, I feel the Hermit chooses to be alone and to go within himself, and to, whether you're a female or male, it doesn't matter, to go within himself and to, in order to listen to his intuition, in order to follow his inner guidance, in order to, well, I guess that's the same thing, in order to plan the next step necessary. This is by choice. But what I'm seeing here, I'll leave them upright. What I'm seeing here is this is not a choice. Because here we have, this is a tomb. So this is someone who has passed on. They didn't, I'm going to say they didn't make that choice for themselves. They were forced into this state where they have to go within because of the death and transformation. Because of the sudden changes. I'm thinking of the Tower now. Because of the sudden changes in their life, they have to go within. So I'm seeing, whether you want to or not, going within is the answer. Whether you like it or not. I saw 1 hour and 23 minutes. 1, 2, 3 is building upon your stability. It is starting off in your journey. It is taking the steps necessary to accept and be grateful for the opportunities that are placed in our lives. This is a victory. When you go within and you move away from all of the shit, all of the other shit in your life, that's when you will have the victory. Wow. So let's backtrack a little bit. I don't think I'm going to pull any oracle cards for this reading today. That really is fucking crazy. I'm sorry, backtracking, I'm seeing there's a need to walk away from people, places, and things, like the 8 of Cups, to walk away from people, places, and things that bring you heartache. To follow your passions, like the like the Ace of Wands or like the Queen of Wands, is to follow that. to step into your power, like the Queen of Wands and the Magician card. And with these two cards, ending the reading with this card in the middle, I would say this is the most important, one of the most important messages of the reading. The first being to walk away from people, places, things that you know, you did everything in your power to make it work, and it's up to them to do the same. Again, whether they're a business partner or they were or are a romantic interest. When you do everything you can, and you have literally, you can't think of anything else, and you see nothing from that other person, no communication, maybe they're still lying to you and deceiving you, maybe you still feel left out in the cold. And again, whenever you think of them, you feel that, you feel like this. Release it. Let it go. Go within. 4 and 6 are both very balanced numbers. Very balanced numbers. A number of love and balance. A number of stability and balance. Go within. As they say, the answers are within you. All of the answers you seek are within you. Why? Because when we go within ourselves, that is when things that we have in the back of our mind come to the forefront, come to our subconscious mind, in order for us to work through them and heal them. And again, I'll bring up that decluttering thing up again. It's like when you declutter stuff from your home, you see the physical objects there taking up space. You make the decision to let them go. And again, like I mentioned earlier with the KonMari method, I think it's important to be grateful for those objects in your life, because at some point they serve some kind of purpose. And as I stated earlier, no matter what it is, I think we need to be grateful for the things in our life, the lessons in our life, because even the greatest lessons in our life come from the shittiest experiences we have. Because when we are in that, again, it takes there's a quote, it takes a certain amount of darkness to see the stars. That is why. Go within. Release things. Again, when you start being burdened and overwhelmed by these scenarios that are going on in your life, it's important to release it with peace and love and compassion, not anger, resentment, and fear. So again, I will share again what has been helping me lately, what has been helping me a lot lately in releasing heartache of people, places, things in my life and scenarios that are really putting me in my head, and just, I end up in this like negative spiral. What has been helping me again is to imagine, like, let's say an animal as whatever that is. So whatever object or scenario or person in your life that has been bringing you these kind of emotions, think of them as that animal. And be as gentle and as loving with that animal as possible. I mean, if you're not a big animal person and you love babies, then think of a baby. If you don't, if you're not necessarily very fond of animals or babies, think of whatever the fuck it is that really makes you happy. If you love cars and you're so fucking passionate about a car, imagine it being the most beautiful car sitting right in front of you, and you're like so grateful for it, and you're like, wow, this is a beautiful, gorgeous car. You appreciate it, and then it drives away. Whatever the case is, it doesn't matter. You figure out that for yourself. But for me, I'm saying the thing that really helps me, or that has been helping me with this specific blockage that I have been experiencing a lot lately, is to imagine an animal that really symbolizes that to me, and letting it go gently. Like a bird, like a cat, like a dog, whatever it is you want to think of. I love sheep. I love dragons. And I could also very much think of those things as well. But make sure that it is something that, even though it's something that you like, or whatever the case is, that you're transmuting this energy of whatever negative into this object or this thing, or this animal, or whatever the case is. Try to make it something that makes you happy, but also correlates to whatever it is. So for example, if it's a person and there's an animal that makes you think of that person, think of that specific animal. If it's a place, then think about something that you really like about that place. And imagine that being something. Like, whatever it is, I'm just throwing out an idea out there for you to take it and do whatever the fuck you want with it, in a way where it can help you. Only you know what can really help you. Because only you truly know you better than anyone else will ever know you. So I'm just throwing out a tool out there that has been helping me, that I hope can help you too. And if it helps you, then please, I would love to know. Like, you don't have to tell me the situation or circumstance, but I would love to know, like, what object or animal or, whatever it is that you imagine this, all of that other shit to transform into, in order for you to release it. I would love to know. And, I'm pretty sure other people can get ideas from us sharing, what helps us. And I think that's the end of the reading. Thank you so fucking much for being here with me today. You are the magician. You are enough. You are great. And as I said that, I saw an hour 3333. You are the magician. Yes, you really are. Believe it. Believe in yourself. Believe that you deserve the best, because you really do. Become the greatest version of yourself, because you deserve to. And when we become the greatest version of ourselves, it's like a trickle-down effect where it helps other people also realize their fullest potential, and for them to be inspired, and for them to start pursuing their dreams, and for them to start inspiring other people. It's a domino effect that can be beautiful if we choose for it to be so. If we choose to do it from a place of love and understanding, kindness, compassion, and all that shit. It is up to us. Thank you again so much for being here. Talk to you all on the next one. I hope this brought you peace, hope, clarity to your situation. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Bye, soul family. Have a great day.